Hello, I hope you are having an awesome day, and I appreciate you joining me on this little talk about lemon essential oil. I want to make sure that I say that clearly. I want to talk about lemon essential oil. And first and foremost, there's a big difference between lemon essential oil and lemon juice. Okay, the lemon oil is extracted from the rind of the lemon. Okay, so like when you peel a lemon, right, you have the lemon. That's lemon oil. And the lemon juice is the nutritional aspect of the lemon, okay? And I just want to make that clarification in the sense that the way the essential oil actually functions in the system is quite different than the lemon juice itself. In fact, I just completed a blog. By the way, I'm inviting you to check out my Substack blog, because I am writing all about stress and of course essential oils, but I am more focused on the stress response. That is our reaction and the system's reaction to the stressors. And in fact, I'm doing an awful lot of speaking on Clubhouse with regards to that. So you're welcome to join me over there. We can connect there. You can follow along, participate in the conversations, and it would be great fun. In the meantime, a couple of people have contacted me recently about lemon essential oil. And again, when I was writing this blog post, and I said, the title of it is "You're Not Ready." You're not ready. And what I meant by that is you're not ready to be well, you're not ready to lose weight, you're not ready to get better sleep until we begin to introduce essential oils. And as you know, if you've been with me and followed me for a while, you're familiar with the fact that I'm very particular about how we use oils. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm the essential oil expert. I specialize in the stress response as well as the chemistry of oils. And I've been practicing this way for over 30 years, researching, studying the plant constituents. And so that's really what I present when I talk here. So when it comes to lemon essential oil, well, when I was asked the questions first, one question was about using lemon essential oil during a lymphatic drainage massage. The other one was with regards to a study that was located regarding, I say I'm too much, I apologize, regarding geranium and lemon essential oil being effective against particular viruses. Yet when I read these things, I pay attention to the constituents that they're talking about. And again, these are peer-reviewed studies that are being conducted around the world. This has been going on for centuries. Of course, increasingly so in the last century, because this is where a good portion of our medications come from. So the distinction between juice and oil is because, like I said, the juice contains, that's your food, right? And that contains the nutrients, where the oil contains components that will influence genetic activity. And while they are studying these constituents, a lot of the constituents, and in this particular study, they identified constituents, and what they pointed out are also found in other oils. So it doesn't make those two particular oils effective against a virus. It means that those constituents are effective and as far as inhibiting the invasion of that virus. And this can be found throughout the essential oil world. And you could go back to if you go to revolutionaryaromatherapy.com, there's my ultimate guide. You can see things that I've written there. And again, I've moved it all over onto Substack because I really want to emphasize and underscore the importance of using oils and what the stress response really is, and beginning to help de-escalate that. And I will present anything that comes to me in the way of people contacting and reaching out for some assistance. So in the case of the oil, lemon essential oil, the answer to the lymph drainage was I wouldn't recommend it for other people. I wouldn't recommend it for lymph drainage, just put it that way. It does move fluid, yet if you're looking to drain the lymph system or move the lymph system, and fluid is more than just the lymph system. Lemon essential oil is nice, especially the lemon juice, but lemon alone is very good for helping to protect the kidneys. And again, lemon helps to move fluids, and I'll explain that in a minute here, because that's the whole purpose to this video. So in this case, I recommended cypress and laurel leaf as far as a lymph drainage massage is concerned. If you wanted to throw lemon oil in there, it would be okay, as long as the individual does not use lemon essential oil all the time. And again, I'll say more about that in a minute. So in this case, between the laurel leaf and the cypress, you are now actually moving the lymph system and supporting the release. If you include the lemon with it, you're also supporting, breaking up the congestion in tissues, and again, helping to flush that from the system. And I've already addressed the whole concept around using it we do recognize it as an antiseptic, and this has more to do with the synergy of constituents as opposed to particular constituents. And when I speak of synergy, I'm referring to the way these components work together and how they ultimately influence the whole system. And in the case of lemon essential oil, this is where the bad news comes in. I don't mean, so please don't kill the messenger. I'm just informing you so that you can begin to make better decisions that are more supportive of your system. Okay, so it's been confirmed through studies that the lemon essential oil, and they have not identified constituents with if there's any particular one. And what I was thinking of when I mentioned moving fluids is that lemon essential oil has a big influence on dopamine. And this is where I jump into the fact that we want to be careful about what oils we're using, because some of them do have a direct impact on very specific chemicals in the body. And the more we stick with it, we're not doing anything differently than a medication. Yes, you do have a more well-rounded approach because they have all these constituents that are working, but the bottom line is the synergy of lemon essential oil does in fact influence dopamine production, or I should say in this case, the metabolic turnover. That's what's been confirmed. And what metabolic turnover is, it's the degradation of dopamine. So the study was conducted around the idea of anxiety. And so they were able to confirm that through the degradation of dopamine, meaning it was removing it, breaking it down, it was able to relieve anxiety. But before you go on going, okay, great, that's a great anti-anxiety oil, be careful. Because metabolic turnover, and that's a phrase that you can look up. Metabolic turnover simply means, as I said, is the dopamine is being metabolized at a faster rate. So lemon essential oil will increase the metabolism of lemon essential oil will increase the metabolism of dopamine. Yet dopamine is necessary for mobility, and this is what we're beginning to see. This is what's linked to movement disorders like Parkinson's and Tourette's. The dopamine is being converted too quickly. It's being metabolized rapidly, and oxidative stress is in fact the culprit. And oxidative stress is being produced when the stress response is activated. So it's not about eliminating your stressors as much as it is paying attention to the stress response and beginning to downgrade the stress response. So therefore, using lemon essential oil in a highly stressed body is not a good idea. Maybe occasionally because you like the scent, maybe occasionally because you like the way it makes you feel, but use caution with the lemon essential oil, as I said, because it does increase the metabolic degradation or the metabolic turnover, increasing the degradation of dopamine, lowering your dopamine levels, and therefore contributing to the potential for, if you have a family history of Parkinson's or other movement disorders or spasticity and rigidity in your muscles. Go easy on the lemon. Please go easy on the lemon. And there again, to use it for lymph would be beneficial because the laurel leaf, as I mentioned, would actually improve, or I should say reduce, it would support, let me say it that way, it would support the reduction of reactive oxygen species such as hydrogen peroxide. It increases the production, it supports the increase in the production of nitric oxide, which is necessary for more balanced brain chemistry. And yet when the body is stressed or the stress response is activated, you now have higher levels of, as I mentioned, oxidative stress, and reactive oxygen species is a form of that, and hydrogen peroxide is in fact a reactive oxygen species that is linked to the degradation of dopamine. Now, the magical thing to this, and I know this is really sciencey on you, and I apologize, but at the same time, I feel like this is important for us to understand so that we can begin to make different choices. And in this case, an increased hydrogen peroxide, one of the purposes of hydrogen peroxide is to help the body combat exposure to heavy metals. And we also see an increase in a metabolic turnover in dopamine when the body is exposed to heavy metals. So therefore, that's the reason for the hydrogen peroxide. So there's a purpose to it, right? So you have to understand there is a purpose to producing these chemicals. Yet, if we're not being exposed, or, and there's other ways, there's other things you can do nutritionally as well as with oils if you're concerned about heavy metals. Okay, and that can be an entirely different conversation. Please DM me on Instagram if you have questions about that. At TammyDavis8, that's where I'm at over there on Instagram. So, and that's the reason why we see an increase, we're seeing premature gray. It's the reason why we're seeing an increase in periodontal disease, the stress, right? So, therefore, use caution with the lemon. Again, I'm just the messenger. Please don't kill the messenger. If you have questions, hit me up on Instagram, DM me, and follow me over there. Follow me on Clubhouse, and follow me on Substack. Let's get this conversation going. And by the way, I also have a masterclass coming up on the 18th of September. It'll be held live on YouTube, and you will get, and it's how to free yourself from stress, so that you can lose the weight, so that you can sleep better, so that you have better memory, you can think more clearly, you have more confidence. This is the benefit, and so much more. Less pain, less fatigue, far more energy when you begin to get a hold on that stress response and realize you can rein in on that thing that's got your system all jacked up, so that you can feel good in your skin and smile and walk around and have confidence in who you are and what you're bringing into the world, with no more pain, better sleep, better relationships. So let me know. Instagram, TammyDavis8. Clubhouse, actually TammyDavis8. And Substack. All right. See ya.